Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the fifth workshop of the SANEF 2021 Election Training Rollout Program. My name is Mary Papayya, and I'm the SANEF Election Training Facilitator. I'm joined today by colleagues Hopewell Radebe, who's our Elections Program Manager. Our logistics team on board for this morning's session is Oxygen Media and their entire team, as well as our trainer, Ms. Mapi Mashlangu. SANEF has been involved in a range of initiatives around elections and capacitation since 1994. And in fact, dating pre-1994, we've partnered with a range of entities and organizations. Our newsroom training on elections this year focuses on local government, municipal finances, and election reporting. In addition, we've got a range of reporting resources available on the SANEF Elections portal, and I'll take you through that in a few seconds. There have been some new additions to the portal because the portal itself was launched in 2019. Now, these efforts, as I said, is ongoing in terms of capacity building, investment in democracy and governance reporting, skills and resources to ensure that as journalists, we provide the public with fair, balanced, accurate, equitable information and prepare them for voting day. In 2019, incidentally, we trained over 400 journalists in face-to-face meetings. That excludes the journalists who obviously had access to the portal. But before we get to the portal, just to talk you through the webinars proper. So what we've done this year is we focused on how the elections work. That was the first one. And when you go through the portal, there is a recording of that particular aspect, and you're able to draw on the decisions, discussions, and all of the information that was imparted by a range of election trainers, as well as experts in the newsroom, including editors. So they shared with us quite broadly. The next one we had was telling local government stories with data. Again, this is on the dashboard, the elections dashboard for 2021. And then the next one was on reporting for, municipal finances. You can read all about that during the drive-through through our portal in the next few minutes. And then, of course, today's one is the role of media during the election that Mapi Mashlangu will take us through. But before we get there, some house rules for everybody. The session is being recorded. It will be made available to each of you. You'll receive the slides and other resources after the training session. We've got your details. If you have any problems, go onto the website. You'll find contact details for the office and you can follow through. You'll also be asked by the logistics team at Oxygen Media to help us with a follow-up survey. And then to minimize distractions, you know it all. It's been a season of online learnings. Shut down those emails, send all your calls to voicemail, make sure your video feed is off so that you can hear us better, see us better, and then unless you're speaking, please mute yourselves. And then without further ado, I'm going to ask the team at Oxygen to take us through to the SANEF Elections portal. So if we go through to a quick tour on this, we'll notice that we've got the landing page of the SANEF website. It talks about the Elections Portal 2021. If we go further down, you'll see aspects relating to the elections. That's more about what's happening with SANEF, our releases. There'll be some information on there about the elections as well. So please go through, look through it. Feel free to do that in your own time. Now we go to visit the portal proper. So let's look at the landing page. It talks about the launch of the elections training and the webinars. It gives you a timeline leading up to election day. It talks about So let's look at the resources that we're offering. We're talking about the courses that are coming through. The elections, these are all the materials from the previous workshop, which you're welcome to go through in your own time and take a look at, browse through this, look at the kinds of questions that were asked, and just capacitate yourself fully. We're now going to move to the elections dashboard page, and this will show you the data that can be used in the election and local government coverage around stories. Again, if you go through, you click onto the map, it will take you to different regions. We're not going to do that now, but very quickly, this just highlights the different municipal regions and what you can find. There's a ton of information there, so you'll be capacitated with all sorts of data. Then we move through to the elections resources, as I was talking about. Again, here you'll find access to not just the previous workshop, but the workshops before. Again, go through it, and if there's any questions, you can contact us going forward. And then can we go through the elections training proper? If we look at this, the municipal elections, these are the various modules that we have. For instance, learning about the municipal elections in module 1, the frameworks that guide us, how it works, what to expect. Then we went straight into the webinar. And then the next one is obviously today's one. And here again, you can go back and you can read all about it. You can find the information that best suits you. You can talk about it. In terms of the various aspects to the previous workshops, we spoke about how elections work, what are the parameters that you need to look at, and we touched on different elements. Today, we're talking about the issue. Just a point there, telling local government stories was a very, very important one. And you're welcome to go there, look through it, look at the dashboard, and then see how we've been using it. Municipal finances was a very, very important one as well. So please feel free to work your way through that one. And then lastly, of course, we're dealing with today's session, which is around the aspect of the role of the media during elections. That being said, I'm sure there's tons we're going to talk about as we go through this session. But before I hand you over to our election trainer for today, just a little bit about Marpi. She is the managing director and the founder of Minsight Content Creation. It's called MCC. It's a consultancy firm that is at the forefront of African media newsrooms' operational effectiveness and strategic positioning. The mission is the need to bring value to the world, to people, stories of all clients and stakeholders. A conversation strategist, Marpi has facilitated and trained and handled a number of discussions on diversity and on challenging the narrative around migration to South Africa. She's a brilliant storyteller, 23 years of experience in radio, television, and on digital platforms. And something we're always very proud of, the first woman to hold the position of managing director and editor-in-chief at South Africa's first 24-hour English news channel, ENCA. And she's accredited with expanding and solidifying ENCA's position in the marketplace, despite the arrival of 2 more competitive 24-hour news channels. On that note, Marpi, thank you so much for joining us and welcome. And I'm going to hand over to you now.